Buff Metal back with another video. The topic of today's rant. If I had a religion, man, probably be metal. Heavy metal, extreme metal, all metal, right? I was thinking about it, man, today while I was driving around in the car. You listen to all that devil crap, and I don't know, one thing led to another, and I started thinking about religions and all that. Something popped into my mind, man, like, is there anything I believe in as far as, the spiritual realm, all that crap, I got roasted for yesterday's video because I said I didn't believe in aliens in the typical sense, right? I don't, man. I don't believe that Martians, little green men, come from, outer space, deep space, and show up here. But so I got to thinking, well, what do you believe, Justin? What is it inside that I do believe in? I think everyone in life needs something, right? Something that's a little bigger than themselves, that gives you some kind of spiritual essence that makes you feel connected to this world in some way, otherwise I can't imagine you have much of a soul, right? Like, if you don't love anything, if you got nothing that you're into, or you don't care about anything, you just, someone gave you football when you were a kid, so you like football, and they put a beer in your hand and a bunch of junk food, and they said, here you go, man, the world is your, and by the way, you can be a Catholic too. That's what my parents did, so why don't you be a Catholic? It seems like most of the masses, right, just kind of subscribe to that. And I was really thinking about it, man, and I was thinking to myself, like, well, what the hell is your religion? I'm not really religious at all, but I do believe in things. I do believe in the forces and in energy and vibration and stuff like that, right? I've talked about this on the channel before, where I do think that music is a vibration. Your soul resonates with certain vibrations, right? And I for some reason, mine resonates with extreme metal. I don't know what it is. I think I can explain it in part like this, right? When I listen to something like Beherit or something like that, or I'm trying to think of something maybe a little more gruesome out there, let's talk early Cannibal Corpse. There's maybe some BDM stuff, regurgitation, or malignancy. All these things that are really in your face and like blah, 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 and I know that's not maybe the best example of what that is, but like when you think about those things, I think there's something really cool about, like, on the outside, it's trying to keep you away, right? The blast beats, the album art, right? The album covers, it's all trying to keep you out, man. It's almost like Vladimir the Impaler's castle, right? How he would put sticks on heads on sticks and spikes and stuff outside of the castle, so that people would be too afraid to even step into his world, right? I think about that, right? And to me, I'm like, I almost kind of get it, man, because if you have the right mindset, you get to enjoy the riffage, the pure riffage that is Acid Enema, or Waterlogged Corpse by Malignancy, or some of these great tunes, man, or even like more surface level, like Hammer Smash Face, or Blood, or some of the classic stuff. It makes you think, like, man, people are going to miss out on this because they're virtue signaling. And if there's one thing I don't believe in, that cannot exist in extreme metal, it's fucking virtue signaling, dude. If you're a virtue signaler of any sort, if you're trying to be I find, at least, the people trying to be the good guy, hey, I'm good, I got morals, I know what's going on, blah, blah. Those people always seem to have skeletons and shit in the closet. They always seem to be weirdos, power trippers, to me, I'm like, I would rather have you think I'm just a menace or crazy or bad or something. Just assume I'm another piece of shit like everybody else on the planet. And maybe if you talk to me and we develop a rapport, and for some reason you choose to get to know me, you'll figure out that maybe, beneath that exterior, that hard buff exterior, there's actually like a thinker in there, someone who's a curious life ponderer, And I think about that, man. I think it's kind of important to think of the greater things, man. What is it you want to spend your time here on this earth doing, right? Like, what do I care to put my mind towards? And honestly, man, it's other people with kind of a similar mindset to my own. I want to explore the regions and places where, maybe the goody two-shoeses are too afraid to go. The people in this world who, they don't like to dip their toes into the waters of, like, the truth, in my opinion. I think that's what it really all comes back to, is I think I've met more people who are scum, honestly. And there's nothing worse than scum that pretends not to be scum. And I love that in extreme metal, heavy metal, you know, it's like, right out the rip, it looks scummy, it acts scummy, you know, but I found so many like cool people, cool extreme metalheads, you know, and just metalheads in general, you know, that are kind of defeat what you would think it would be. It's a paradox, dude, but the world is full of paradoxes. It's all chaos, destruction, and then creation over and over and over again. And I don't know what that counts as. I know it's the Ouroboros, and I know it's on the Conquer album cover, and I know those war metal guys sing about it, but I really do see that as the pattern, you know, one of life's constant patterns. It's all destruction and creation over and over and over again, and it's kind of crazy, you know. And yeah, man, so I guess I choose to put all my time and energy into something like metal because I think it matches the absurdity of reality, right? I think reality is inherently absurd, you know, and I think you'll enjoy your own reality more if you stop, go outside, go for a nice calm walk in the graveyard, throw in the tune skis, and just be, right? What does every religion really try and teach you to do and try and get human beings to do? It's to not like fuck each other over, right? And like just to focus on living your best life and being your best you. I think that's really at the core. I'm not like anti-religion by any means, guys. If you practice something, like, good for you, man. Like all power to you. I'm just saying what works for me and what I tend to find is my like religion, you know, nowadays is like, I don't know, just getting lost in the metal, right? Finding my peace in my simplistic day-to-day, you know, when I'm driving around in my car. I commute a lot. My job requires a lot of commuting. So I try not to get mad at traffic or anything like that because I'm like, oh man, this is just more time for me to listen to metal. You know, this is more time I can spend dissecting Mortal Decay or something. You know what I mean? These complex albums that you got to really sit with, or Black Witchery or something. You know what I mean? I've been listening to Desecration of the Holy Kingdom and stuff a lot lately. And dude, it's awesome, man. But again, you got to sit with it. And there, within that, you're learning presence and kind of like, I don't want to say peace of mind, but essentially, you know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like to me. When you sit there with an album, it's a meditation, right? You put the phone down, you zone out a bit, you focus on the road, you know, and dude, you start seeing things in life. You hear sounds more, you connect with your surroundings more. That's what it's all about to me, man. And that's as good as any religion can get, in my opinion. Something that brings you and centers you down to earth, you know? And dude, it feels honest. And that's the only other thing I can tell you that makes it something I can believe in, right? Is there seems to be an honesty in it. And I always go back to that quote from Rest in that One Man Black Metal documentary where he's like, you know, there's something very honest about that guy who's got the corpse paint on and he's screaming, he's kind of a loner and a weirdo and he's just doing his thing. And like, yeah, man, I do find that to be the case. And I know with the internet and stuff, it seems like those are a dime a dozen these days and these bands are everywhere. But I'll tell you this, man, I am the only motherfucker I've met who knows who Blasphemy is. All right, dude, like as far as like in my immediate life, like just people who I talk to on the day to day, I'm it. You know, dude, nobody came to me and showed me any of this shit, dude. I found it all on my own. That's why when people are like, you haven't heard blah, 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 I'm like, I'm taking my time, bro. I'm just chilling. I'm not in a rush to discover anything. I enjoy what I enjoy, and I'll get, if it's mad good, I'll get to it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my attitude with it. Again, slow life down, dude. Slow it down. It's not a rush. We're not in a pissing contest with other metalheads to figure out, oh, who knows the most. Dude, I'm not a fucking dork, all right? At the end of the day, I just like what I like, man. And I think that's the best way to take it, right? You like what you like too, you know, and just enjoy it. Remember, dude, that life is all about experience, man, and good experience, putting your energy and time into the right places, right? And dude, there is no better thing, in my opinion, to put my energy, time, and frankly, money into. You know, I donate to the Church of Hell's Headbangers, you know, or Vinyl Command or Nuclear War Now. That's the only church I'm donating to. You know what I'm saying? That's where my money goes. So, dude, yeah, I'll take that all day long. It's funny when you think, dude, especially back to like, you know, I think it's gotten like, it's not as much of a taboo now, but like when you think back to the old Maiden and stuff like that, and Venom and all the stuff that back in the day people, and even Motley Crue and shit, people were like, oh, you know, it's like, it's so much more, like, they lay on the taboo so much thicker now. I mean, dude, you know, but it seems to matter so much less. I don't know, it's funny. I was going somewhere with that, but I can't really remember. Anyways, that's it, guys. You know, yeah, dude, heavy metal, extreme metal, all metal. That's the religion I choose, man. That's the closest thing I think I'll ever have to one. So anyways, dude, go find something that gives your soul that worth, dude. You know, I love this because it's an honest, like, embrace of the absurdity of life. If I was to put it, you know, into smarty pants terms, right? And that's why I think I like it so much. But yeah, find the thing that in life makes your soul feel like, oh yeah, I connect with this. This is something, you know. And I promise you, if that's music, then every time you sit down, start up an album, you know, maybe partake a little or whatever your ritual is beforehand. Every time you do, man, it's going to be a fucking soulful experience. It's going to be a soul side journey, to quote the Dark Throne. You know? Anyways, hoo hoo.